Welcome back to Unveiling University. I'm JoHannah, a third-year forensic science student with a certificate in criminal justice and a minor in biology at Husson University in Bangor, Maine. Today we're just going to do a general update of how college has been going so far. I've completed 2 years and I'm almost halfway through already the fall semester of my third year. So first I was just going to talk about my general college experience. So first I'll talk about the course load. Normally I take 6 to 7 classes per semester, and it's not as many credits as it seems because labs are only worth 1 credit and I have taken either 1 or 2 every semester. So my expectations in regards to classwork, changing from high school over to college was quite different. I wasn't expecting how much, not necessarily homework, but like reading I'd have to do, and we go through the material at a much faster pace than in high school. But I quickly did settle into the routine. It was so crazy. During the first week or the first 2 weeks, you'll hear like older students talking about how quickly a semester goes by. And in those first 2 weeks, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is going to go on forever. It's going to seem so long. But then before you know it, you're already at week 7, like we are about now. And you're just like, wow, I can't believe that I'm so far into the semester. So you do settle in. And I'll also mention that I do normally take online classes. I don't know how people normally feel about that, but I normally do it just for like my gen eds. I take my more major specific courses in person to get that like better learning. I feel like I normally just take the online classes so I don't have to be on campus as much since I do commute. I don't know, it's just a personal choice. Obviously it's up to you. I think a lot of gen eds are offered online, depending on which college you go to, of course. So for my social life, I don't really do too much. I am in the forensics club at Husson, which all of the legal studies organization clubs are incredible. They do so much. They get people to come in and talk. It's a really great group of clubs. So if you're at Husson or considering Husson, even if you're not in one of the legal studies majors, I would consider joining because it's just generally fun. They do murder mysteries and escape rooms, so it's pretty cool. Next, I wanted to talk about jobs. So I work on campus at Husson, multiple jobs. So if you want to work multiple jobs, you have to work some in the student success, which I do tutoring. I also, over the summer, do the new student orientation, NSO. So this is just when all the new students come in. If you're getting into college, you're probably hearing about this stuff. You do it over the summer. You just get to meet some people in your major. It's a really good experience. And then I also did Eagle Week. So if you're considering Husson, but you're a little bit worried about the transition into college life, Eagle Week is something that's really great. Also, if you're an international student, they do have you participate. And yeah, it was a really interesting experience for me because we were working with all these students and just helping them adapt to college life. But I also had a big shock because as a commuter, I've never lived on campus before. And for that week, I had to live on campus. So a few notes that I would like to give on living on campus would be to bring extension cords. I literally was not prepared for that. And also maybe something scented, because I feel like the room did smell kind of odd. But I will mention, don't bring candles. They're not allowed on most campuses because it's an open flame. But at Husson, the best thing probably about the dorms is that there are single bathrooms. Like, best thing ever. You get your own bathroom with a toilet, a sink, and a shower. And yeah, it's great to not have to deal with like other people like in your space, and yeah, that was great. I also didn't have the experience of a roommate though, so yeah, and it was only for 1 week, so I don't have the most experience living on campus, but yeah, that's what I got to do during Eagle Week. And if you're considering Eagle Week, it's a really great opportunity to meet other students that are kind of a little bit worried about college like you, and you can you get to go and get introduced to the area. We go downtown in Bangor, and we also go to Acadia, which is a national park that's not too far away from Husson. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Lastly, I have worked in the bakery ever since I started school. It's probably the best job ever for me because I love baking so much. So it's good to find a job that's, especially like if it's on campus, that's more of a stress reliever than like a stress maker. And that's the bakery for me. So yeah, I recommend getting a job that you really enjoy if possible. Obviously, some people really need the money and you just need to find the job that pays the most. And that could probably be an off-campus job if you have that availability, because on-campus jobs are minimum wage normally. So moving on, I'll talk about my favorite classes so far. So I really enjoyed my investigations class. I had a professor, Professor Michaud, and he worked for NCIS, and he taught us all about different types of investigations and put in real cases that he solved. And yeah, I feel like that's just the best way to learn from real experience. And for a non-criminal justice class I really liked, I surprisingly liked organic chemistry. A lot of people hate it, but I feel like I was just really interested in seeing how all the reactions work. And I don't know, I feel like it definitely could have some importance later on in my career as a forensic scientist. So, favorite professors. This would be like all of my CJ professors. Professor Michaud, Professor Komorski, Dr. Perez, and Professor Pelletier. They are all amazing, as I said earlier, provide real-life experience, and I think the biggest thing is they really want you to succeed, but they also hold you to professional standards. That's why, like, our legal studies program at Husson is so great, and people want to hire Husson students from the CJ and conservation law and pre-law and forensics programs, and there's even a career fair just for the legal studies, because that's like, they get so many organizations coming just to hire Husson students because we have such high standards for our programs. So if you're interested in any of those majors I mentioned earlier that are under legal studies, Husson is a great university for that. And I've also had really good experience with the English teachers. The two that I had have been Professor Tice and Dr. Cahill. I just feel like they really also care about you succeeding, which is pretty true about all of the teachers at Husson. Some people have a harder time with the science teachers. But yeah, I took speech with Dr. Cahill, and I hate speech, but she made it like really easy to just get into the flow. And yeah, Professor Tice only made us do the mandatory assignments, which was really great. And I also want to talk about my favorite spot on campus. So if you're at Husson, one place that I find that is normally quiet and a good spot to study is the Gracie Atrium. It's a little bit cold in there, but aside from that, I love that spot. So, I wanted to also mention how to add a minor or certificate. At Husson, it's super easy. All you have to do is talk with your advisor and sign a paper. For me, I was able to add biology as a minor by only taking one more class, and for my CJ certificate, all of the classes are already built into my curriculum sheet. And the good thing about Husson is that there are a lot of certificates that are easy to get, so it makes you look better on a resume because you have those like additional certifications. So I definitely recommend that. Alright. So, in regards to like real life experiences, like getting internships, it's required for the College of Business, which forensic science does fall under at Husson. And there are clinicals for the health sciences. I'm not sure about like any other majors, but Husson does really focus on making sure you get that real life experience. So my personal experience with internships, real quick, is that there's not too many for forensic science in Maine, so I'm really working on trying to get some federal opportunities, but I will also apply to the one spot in Maine, the crime lab, and I might also apply to Massachusetts crime lab for next summer. So, some things that I do to be successful is I have a planner that I use pretty religiously. So I have one that I printed out that goes weekly, and then I have a Google sheet that I make that's for the semester. And that way, like, I can just check things off and make sure I'm getting everything done. And that kind of leads into an important thing of don't procrastinate. I know many people that procrastinate, waiting till that last minute to get things done. Don't stay up until 11:59 trying to turn that assignment in. Just try to get it done earlier in the week if you can. Sometimes the assignments do like all happen to be due like on the same day, but yeah, I think you'll find that you can get into a rhythm of it and figure out earlier in the week when you can do it. And another thing is knowing when you need a break. Sometimes, like, you can just feel that, like, push, like, you got so much going on, but you can't let your mental health suffer over this schoolwork, and sometimes just taking a small 15-minute break to do whatever you like to do, and then getting back into it can really help keep your mindset, good, you know? So, briefly, this semester, I am taking Physics 1, the lecture in the lab, Biochem, Criminalistics, Intro to Ethics, and I chose to take Chinese. So this is what I'm taking as a forensic science student in my third year fall semester. So I was really excited to get into criminalistics, and it's been great so far. There's a lot of experience working with evidence techniques and knowing how to process a crime scene. It might not be the most relevant to someone who just wants to work in a lab, but it's good to know like the process of how the evidence gets to the lab. I'm also taking Chinese online, as I mentioned, and it's been really exciting to learn a different language. Like, it's so different than English. And my teacher, she is from China, so she also talks about, like, different cultural things, which I just find to be a really nice touch. And I've been pretty nervous about biochem. It's, like, a super hard class, and this is the teacher's first year teaching it. And, yeah, he's working really hard at it, but sometimes it can be a little confusing and hard. So I'm just trying to keep my head above water on that one. And the last thing is my future college plans. So as I briefly mentioned, I'm trying to get an internship for next summer, hopefully at NCIS or ATF. NCIS is paid, so I'm really hoping to get it there, but we'll see. And yeah, the other thing basically is just to finish my degree on time. So yeah, that's where I'm at in my college career right now. I hope you learned something helpful. And if you're considering Husson University, it's a great school. So until next time, bye. Thank you for watching as we unveil university every step of the way.